Let's talk about Amazon funding. So I want to talk about the pros and cons of this lender in today's conversation. So here's an overview I want you to really pay attention to. A lot of people know Amazon for, let's say, online, like online stores, e-commerce. If you have, let's say, a drop shipping operation, you can go to Amazon and get things done. Amazon actually also does a great job in terms of fulfilling the order. So if there is actually an order from a client, Amazon has a service in place where they'll take care of everything for you. So think about tech giant Amazon recently expanding its massive product offerings to include Amazon lending for third-party sellers. They use the e-commerce platform. So to actually qualify for a loan at a business loan at Amazon Funding, you have to have an account on the platform. You have to be a seller on Amazon.com, and so the invite only a small business lending program could help you grow and expand your Amazon business. So, long story short, this is an invite only. So you can't just get up and say, you know what, I want to apply for a business loan at Amazon. No, the business funding programs are designed to help sellers who can qualify for, say, traditional small business loans. However, the company doesn't publish many details on available loan features. You must receive the invite to know your eligible borrowing amounts, interest, and terms. So, long story short, think about Amazon lending as an invite only business loan opportunity for eligible small business owners who actually sell on Amazon e commerce platform. Okay. Now, Amazon funds actually the loans directly or offers the funding with third party lenders. So you can actually go to a lender such as One Main Financial or Lendistry. Okay. So, Lendistry, for instance, partners with Amazon for some loans. So up to a certain amount, let's say 50,000, and that's kind of important. And what I want to say is that Paraffin is Amazon's funding partner for merchant cash advances. So overall, the lending program is designed to help you if you are an e-commerce seller who wants to grow real fast. So if you're thinking about Amazon funding this year, let me give you the types of loans that you can actually get from Amazon. Okay, so you can get business term loans. You have an Amazon Community Lending Program. You have Amazon Interest Only Loan, Amazon Business Line of Credit, and a merchant cash advance through Amazon. So that's something really good. So if you think about business term loans, you are looking at your normal business loans that you can get from a bank or credit union, and you are actually limited to $75,000. That's the business term loans. The repayment window can be extended to 5 years. You also have the Amazon Community Lending Program. So Amazon also partners with Lendistry, an established minority-led community development financial institution, to offer term loans to socially and economically distressed communities in urban and rural areas. Okay, so that's kind of cool. And so examples include minority-owned businesses, low to moderate income communities, and other historically disadvantaged business owners. So eligible businesses could receive $10 to $250,000 with competitive APRs and terms. And what I want to say here is that if you look at Amazon, you also have to remember that you do have an interest only loan program, depending on the type of let's say loan amount that you're looking for. So if you think about interest only, you are looking at a business term loan with an initially low monthly payment because as a borrower, you are only required to pay the interest. Okay, and once the interest only payment period expires, you have to really go back to the traditional method. In other words, you must pay the principal balance and any remaining interest equal monthly payments for the remainder of the term. In other words, interest only loans can help you save on payments for a bit, but it requires much larger, much bigger loan amounts on the back end. So if you're comfortable with actually this scenario, actually paying a little lower now, and then maybe 1 or 2 or 3 years from now, pay a bigger amount, then you can go with the interest only loan. Now, if you use this form of financing, ensure that you have a plan to cover the larger balloon payments after the interest only period expires. In terms of the line of credit, what I want to say here is that you can actually qualify for a maximum of $250,000 through Amazon. So that's kind of cool. And the cash advance also is great because Amazon will partner with other companies to sort of offer you a merchant cash advance. Now, in terms of loan amounts or in terms of APRs, they do not publish anything about this funding program. So that's it is what it is actually. I want to give you more details about Amazon funding program, okay? And if you are a small business, regardless of where you are at, if you are, I mean, your state of location doesn't really matter. Actually, you are able to get things done a lot faster. The only primary obligation for you, I mean, from Amazon is to make sure that you have an account on the platform. You are a seller on the platform. That way, Amazon does have, let's say, some kind of a backup data to uh, to really look at your application, and that's really important. So if you're thinking about eligibility this year for eligibility for an Amazon business loan, just remember that it starts with you having a an account on the platform. I mean, there are no other criteria in the sense that Amazon will send you an invite only. I mean, will send you an invitation. This is an invite only program, okay? But it's important for you to have a clear idea what the program really covers because just in case you receive an invite, then you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. You don't have to really learn about the program after getting the qualification offer, okay? So this is an invite only. And so when you log in, you want to look for the invite on the Amazon seller account homepage. If you qualify, they will notify you there. So basically, for Amazon lending, you need to know that Amazon bases its eligibility criteria on your sales performance instead of traditional lending factors like credit score or time in business. So Amazon doesn't really care about whether or not you've been in business for 10 years or 20 years or 5 months or 5 days, right? They care about your performance. Of course, you will need at least some time in business to have a proven track record of sales, but they look at the last 6 months, they look at the last year. Now, keep checking your seller accounts. Actually, if you don't have an invite yet, a higher sales volume will increase your likelihood of a future invite. So there is no credit check or collateral for the Amazon lending program. So that's kind of cool because it gives you more flexibility. And instead, Amazon, its lending partners, secure the loans with your seller accounts. And Amazon Lending doesn't have a business loan affiliate program. So it's one of those things where, you have to really just wait for the invite. So let me talk to you about how to apply for Amazon Lending. So you can see basically, I think I've already established the fact that you have to really wait for the invite, right? So it's one of those things where you can't, let's just say, preempt the whole process and say, you know what, I'm going to apply and hopefully, Amazon will just maybe look at my application and really think that I do qualify. No, it doesn't work that way. They want you to really just sit there and be patient. And if they see some kind of potential in you, some kind of potential in your business, in your seller account, then they'll just extend the invite to you. Okay, so you cannot apply directly. So if you received an invite, not an invite only, if you receive an invite on your seller central, let's say homepage, just follow the instructions in the invite because the instructions can be different depending on your seller account, depending on your loan amount, and depending on your location too. Okay, so every geography is different, and it can take up to 5 days to receive approval. So once you follow the instructions, just sit once again and just be patient. So you are looking at up to 5 days in terms of loan release, in terms of funding. So once approved, the funds are electronically sent to your seller or bank account. Okay, and so the funds for repayment come directly from your Amazon seller account. The repayment frequency depends on your type of loan, actually, and so you may receive additional invites for Amazon loans as you repay your current one. Some customers stated that they receive better terms and interest rates after the initial loan. So maybe the first loan is not really the best in terms of offer, but then subsequently they will give you something better. So if you think about Amazon lending, what are the advantages and the disadvantages of this lending program this year? One of the biggest advantages when it comes to Amazon lending is that you do not have some kind of state restriction. Okay, a lot of lenders, such as maybe Amazon, I mean not Amazon, like One Main Financial or Personify, to just name two, they actually are limiting you to a state confines. So they are state restricted. Okay, they do not cover all the 50 states. They cover maybe 20 states or 25 states, and you got to figure out that you got to figure out that you're you are in the specific states where they were at. With Amazon, you don't have that kind of limitation because Amazon is a national player. You just need to have a seller account, and you just got to make money. Okay, so the advantages of Amazon lending are that basically the program provides financing opportunities for you if you do not qualify at a traditional bank or at a credit union. Many banks and credit unions don't know what to do with e-commerce businesses because they don't fit neatly in the conventional brick and mortar box. Okay, and another significant benefit is that Amazon lending doesn't require a credit check, meaning you could be eligible regardless of your credit score. And Amazon also doesn't require collateral. So this is an unsecured loan. So you are really able to use the funds to get a lot of things done real fast. And the application process is entirely online and requires minimal documentation. And Amazon actually has access to all the data it needs in your seller account. So you will not have to provide extensive documentation to prove your financials. That's kind of cool. And finally, what I want to say here is that Amazon is really will work with you depending on your niche. Also, it doesn't matter. Just have a seller account with them. So, what are the disadvantages of Amazon lending here? Well, it is invite only. That's the biggest drawback. It is invite only, meaning that no business owner can apply directly for financing. You also must have an active Amazon seller account. Okay, and you also have the approval and funding time. Those are really those are not fast. You're not getting your cash within 1 day or 2 days. It might take, like I said, up to 5 days to actually get your cash. So if you're willing to wait that long, that's fine too. Okay, and you also have no visibility into in terms of APR, in terms of loan amounts. Those are really, this is a great area really. So what are the pros and cons here? If you think about Amazon funding, the pros first. So Amazon provides a financing option for eligible e-commerce sellers, which is really great because, again, like I said a little earlier, not a lot of banks or credit unions understand the whole e-commerce thing, and they do not really lend yet to that industry. Okay, massively. There is no minimum credit score or collateral requirements. You have an online application process with minimal documentation, so you don't have to really waste a lot of time and resources trying to really gather your paperwork because everything is done electronically. Okay, and if you are eligible for community lending, you might receive generous rates and terms. On the flip side, if you think about Amazon, you have the invite only, and you got to be an Amazon seller. You have a long approval and funding time for an online loan. Lack of transparency when it comes to loan features, like if you think about borrowing amounts, the rates, the terms, and so on and so forth. And basically, you could compromise business autonomy and make you more. I mean, you can make the loan process, your funding through Amazon, subject you to Amazon's regular, I mean not regulatory, loan funding requirements. Really, okay. So you are really sort of risking your whole future to Amazon lending. Okay. So, but one thing for sure, you have to understand that Amazon lending is legit. Okay. This is a legitimate business loan platform offered by the world's largest online marketplace. So this is kind of cool. And an Amazon funding program might be good for you if you can afford it, if you need the money, if you don't have other options, and you don't have an urgent funding need because they do not really fund you fast. Okay, so just be aware of that, and you are able to apply with a lender that doesn't really bother you with too much paperwork, too much like physical paperwork. Now, if you're not eligible for Amazon lending, in other words, you are a seller and you do receive an invite only, but after deep research, they realize that you do not qualify for the loan amount, or let's just say that you have not received an invite. You're still waiting on the fence for an invite, and you don't know if you'll qualify for Amazon lending. Well, you have options. You have similar options such as Shopify Capital, okay, or you have BigCommerce Capital or WooCommerce Capital, or you can try other venues. You can try banks, you can try business lenders, or you can try also credit unions. Okay, and when it comes to banks, you have the possibility to actually go with a national bank or a regional bank. So national banks such as a Chase, Wells Fargo, Citi, or Bank of America, or you can go to a regional bank such as PNC, Truist, U.S. Bank, or Key Bank. Okay, so it's one of those things you need to really pay attention to. Now, one thing I want to say here is that if you're not eligible for Amazon lending, you can also think about the kind of loan, the kind of business loan that you want. Maybe you don't qualify for a business loan, for a traditional business loan at Amazon, but maybe you can qualify for a merchant cash advance. Okay, so you got to really explore the possibilities, possibilities that you have, and see what works for you. So among the thing is, Amazon sellers might also be interested in the following small business financing options, especially those who don't qualify, for an Amazon loan. Okay, so you have bad credit business loans, equipment financing, SBA loans, revenue-based financing. You have working capital loans. You have invoice factoring, and you also have ERTC advances. So you have a lot of possibilities. Okay, so in terms of making your decision, you have the choice. Just remember that Amazon lending is best suited for you if you are an eligible e-commerce seller who can use the funds right now, okay, who can use the funds to grow his or her business, okay, and have a solid plan to repay the loan. It could be a great opportunity since some lenders still hesitate to lend to e-commerce businesses. Still, it is actually in your best interest to compare rates and terms with other business loan options so that you know exactly whether or not you're making the right decision for your business. So, in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about Amazon funding. So, this was a review. I give you the overview, the details, and now the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.